Stampers. Thanks for joining me today. This is Linda Goldhurst from Snowberry Stampers in Orlando, Florida. And I wanted to share with you this really cute, pretty, elegant card made with the lovely lily pad stamp set, the matching lily pad dies, and the Lily Pad Impressions DSP, which at first looks a bit overwhelming, but as you cut it down into smaller manageable pieces, I think you're really going to enjoy it. So this is the one side, the floral side, and then the other side is more just a paint palette. So really very, very pretty. All of these products came out of the Celebration catalog. So all of these items are free with purchase. So the stamp set is free with a $50 purchase, the dies with a $100 purchase, and then the DSP also with a $50 purchase. But what I wanted to show you today is how I put these lilies, the lily pad flowers, together to give them some real dimension. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera here, but they're really popped up. So I know you know how to assemble a card, but I'm going to give you the dimensions, but I'm going to spend more time showing you how to put the flower together. Now you'll notice there are two different flowers here. Well, the same flower, but done two different ways. This one is die cut only, and this one is stamped and die cut. Okay, so let me show you the parts and pieces first. I've got a Whisper White thick base, which is 4.5 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches. I have a piece of lovely lipstick that's 5.25 by 4. And a piece of the DSP, which is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this down. I'm just using my mono adhesive glue. The only thing that's popped up on this card is going to be the actual flower itself. And okay, that goes down. And we've got, let me put this on the card. Now the card is opening from right to left. I think it just adds a little charm to the card itself, so it's going to open this way. Okay. Now, from the die set, there's this cute little flourish edging that I'm going to just add a little bit of glue. Now this color is Pool Party. And I'm just going to take that to the edge of the DSP. We're just going to glue that down. Okay. All right. So that's done. Let us work on assembling the card. So I've got the lily pad itself, and the leaves are stamped in Granny Apple Green on Granny Apple Green and then die cut. The flower, I've stamped the flower already and I've cut that out with the die. This is lovely lipstick on lovely lipstick. I've got the smaller flower, the same, lovely lipstick on lovely lipstick. And then I've got, you can see here, sorry for the glare, but you can see here this detail cut. So this is the, take it out of here. So this is just the outline of the flower, and then the outline of the smaller flower, and then these are the detail cuts, and then this is the really tiny little flower. All right, so these are all the parts and pieces that we need. Now you're going to need 2 of this detail cut. All right. And then 1 of the larger and 1 of each of the stamped flowers. All right. So let me show you how I put this together. You will need glue and you will need dimensionals. So the first thing we're going to do is take our bone folder and very gently just curl up the ends of the flower. All right. And then we're going to take our green glue, and I'm just going to put green glue around this bottom little petal here, and then just a little bit to each side. And you need to go to the base of the flower. You see there's leaves coming out, and then there's this oval and circular piece here. And that gets adhered right on top. And if you don't get it exact, this is very forgiving. All right, so you can see here, we've got 1 layer done. Now we're going to take this piece, do the same thing, except here, I'm only going to put glue on the bottom. Oops, and we want to do some bone folding here, just on the edges. All right, and we're going to glue that down. And when you do this, you'll realize it's not a perfect fit, but that's not a problem. All right, so you can see here. Okay. All right, now there is no detail for this tiny one. So what I'm going to do is take this larger one and I'm going to trim just this one little petal. Oops. Just going to trim the one petal out. And I'm trying to stay consistent with the framing of the petal. Cut this bottom off. All right. So this is what I've got left, and I'm going to chop off the bottom. All right, so here, it's easier to see on the paper. So this is what I've got, and I'm going to take my green glue, and I'm just going to glue the little bit on the ends, and glue that right down, oops, right down to the bottom. And with the green glue, you can kind of maneuver that around a little bit. All right. I forgot to take my bone folder, so I'm just going to fold that up a little bit. Okay. All right, so now we've got three-dimensional petals. And what we're going to do now is take the middle one, and I'm just putting glue on the bottom and a dimensional in the center. Pull that off. And we're going to glue that down on top of that other detail cut. And I'm just holding the bottom where the glue is, because I want the top to pop out and only the bottom is glued down. All right, and we're going to do the same thing with the littlest one. Glue only on the bottom, and then a dimensional or a mini dimensional or a part of a dimensional in the center. Glue that down and just hold that bottom piece in place until it sticks. So the flower is kind of bursting out from the center. All right, and now we're going to take our leaves. Well, I'm going to take the lily pad. I'm just putting glue in the center here, just a little bit, and then just a dot of glue at the base of each leaf. We're going to set the lily pad, the flower on the lily pad. Hold that for a second. And then it doesn't matter where the leaves go, but since I'm putting the card off to the left, I don't want anything hanging off the left. So there we go. And then this, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm just putting glue on the bottom, and I'm going to put dimensionals in the middle. I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to just hold the lily pad for a second. And then the flower itself is still popped up. So we've got glue down here, and then we've got all these layers just popping out. All right. And then I just took one of my strips and I stamped "Thank you for being my friend." And that came out of the stamp set called "Here's a Card." All right, there's quite a few really neat sayings on here. This is out of the annual catalog. I'm going to go ahead and I stamped it in lovely lipstick. And I'm just going to give it a little curl and then flip up the ends. And I'm putting glue on the underside of the tag because I don't want it sticking to the flower. I want it sticking to the card itself. Put that on here. And then whatever little gems you've got, I've got these metallic enamel shapes, but you could use rhinestones. Any color will do. But I like the clear or the silver look best. And I'm using a take your pick tool, and I'm just going to place 3 of these on my card. And there you have it. A really pretty card. As I said, initially I thought I would be overwhelmed by this paper, but if you cut it down and back it with other colors, coordinating colors, I think it makes for a beautiful card. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day and happy stamping.